Hi, welcome back channel, TrainStation2. Alright, we got first in third competition, and of course we claimed that 1000 event coins legendary Polestar. Alright, so I've got share with you Cyber, which is the gift code CYBER. Make sure you do that to claim that 50 event keys sold earlier. And of course, this is the start of the third competition. And of course, as I showed you in the previous videos, I've been first in the first and second, and hence if I get first in this one, I would have more than 1000 event coins. So it's really important. Always try to work really hard in the first three competition because they are the easiest competition you can get in an event. The following three competitions will be really tough, and of course, as I mentioned, when you were fighting so hard, 100% event map completion would have happened. So indeed, in the midst of this so-called third competition, fighting really hard, so we have completed 100% as well. So what happens after that is basically your event keys would drop, and of course that doesn't equates to your basically EP. So before you hit 100%, your EP and your keys are equal, right? So if you have 68 EP, you have 68 event keys, but that doesn't work anymore. Once you hit 100%, you only have 40 EP, no matter how difficult that job is, but you may get 30 event keys only. So I'm hoping that it doesn't drop too much. In the past events, the event keys has dropped, I think, to about 20 or 25 or even less. So it's really unfortunate, but they have no choice. We really fight hard, and of course I'm really glad we won this, because coming forward, the fourth competition will be really tough. 100% completion just means that things get tougher. Also coupled with the fact that EP are no longer high. The maximum EP hit start we can get in the fourth competition when we start off with basically 40 times 3, which is 120. So you will never see 46, 63 or even higher EPs at all. In the mid of you fighting towards 100% completion, you may see even as high as 90 plus. And you know that the robot contractor, apparently that actually gives bonus, but it stops when you've completed that. And of course, when you talk about bonuses, sometimes you may hit probably 100 or more. So it's really unfortunate, but that's how it works. But the good thing, as I mentioned earlier, is really we have completed the mission of getting 2 legendaries. So in the last video, I've shown you got the basically 4000 event keys legendary, and of course this 1000 event coins legendary completes my basic achievement. I'm hoping to get now the epic and special building. If I could got more, probably the common. Sometimes rare we'd have to give up, but that's basically when there's a special building, because we may not have sufficient event keys, giving these reducing number of keys after you hit 100%. So this is how it works, but of course 2 legendaries makes a lot of differences. So when you send example region 8 trains out, and there's no restriction in terms of the train engines or torch, then it just means that we get really high, near to 80 now, I think 79, the best legendary I can get. So basically, with one more of the legendary upgrade, so once I have sufficient of those legendary parts, that will complete the 80/80 in region 8. So that will brings me to maximum goal whenever I send out that fantastic 80/80 legendary train. Not only that, during competition, whenever I send out that train, is equivalent to basically 2 40s. Right, so it's really amazing. I mean, it's important. If you could really save up those gold parts and coins, make sure you do so. You really need one maximum 80 capacity legendary in every single region. That's something you really got to do. All right, so that's it. Event factory must be always running around the clock, so make sure you do that. I'm spending a lot of gems in this 3 competition in engaging additional dispatches, as well as bringing back items that needed to expedite the production of the materials required sometimes. So I'm really fortunate we really got what we wanted. So this is something you got to bear in mind. Sometimes gems are really precious, but when you really need them in events, you could only spend once you have fully upgraded your core factories, so which I call it the non-event factories. So 110 gems is a must to spend in every big or long event, because that is a basic requirement. You upgrade 2 of these factory spots or slots, you call it, in the event factory. The rest of gems, what I used to do is to upgrade all the non-event factory like this, so you can see the maximum input or output tray acts as the additional warehousing. I always got to repeat this about warehouse spaces. Make sure you start using 5 building technique, lay out the low level buildings of 1 to 5, then keep every other building so that you have 4 of those building requests generated, and keep on going to fulfill them. Eventually, plus 80 plus special building you get from events, soon or not you get your warehouse upgrade. So as you increase your warehouse, basically you're helping yourself, because warehouse follows you throughout, unlike trains will remain in that region. That's about it. Okay, of course you say that, oh, it may help you in the next competition. Yes, I do agree, because every single competition they require current current trains and previous region trains. So that's how it worked out. Then with level 530, had I able to be a gem big spender, I may have used that 500 gems to convert or have an additional dispatcher. But even though I have assuming 500 gems, I will not spend it that way, because when I hit 550, actually I can use the goods to exchange in getting additional dispatcher. Why would someone want to spend 500 gems to get an additional dispatcher? So doesn't make sense at all. So like I said, there's a lot of decision making. Precious gems shouldn't be spent anyhow. You should aid you in winning competitions so that you can get best out of it. Legendaries or even epic or rare or common event trains are always having higher capacity and higher ceiling as compared to the region ones. So it's very important you get as many as you can on those event trains. That's what you've been fighting for at the end of the day from every single event itself. In terms of resource prioritization on how you should go about this, you really need to think what you want to achieve in terms of every single delivery. Would you rather spend a dispatcher to dispatch 6 items, or would you rather spend a dispatcher to dispatch 40 or 50 items? So this is about decision making. If you just want to concentrate to finish one job, you may decide to use a dispatcher for the last 6 items, because that will complete the job. On the other hand, if it's far from completion, you may decide to use that dispatcher to evenly build up the completion line for every single contractor. So you could focus on one, or you simultaneously do all 3. I would advise you, if you could, never try to fulfill all 3, because if all 3 came as a surprise, and it's a bad surprise in terms of the items that you don't have, then there'll be a disastrous. Basically, I'll always advise you, if you could, try to fulfill one, the second one almost complete, and the third one items you have but not touched. So in other words, you will never waste idling dispatches doing nothing while you're waiting for items to be ready. So it's always important to keep on producing so that you never face a situation like that. Alright, so we have completed here first, and of course there comes with owner picture. Although I already have this, but it's always like that. The game would give you, regardless whether you have it or not. Okay, so really good number of gap, and of course now the exciting moment, and now that's what I've been waiting for. Alright, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe, and time for a break right now. Goodbye.